Welcome back to my channel. Today we are working on programming challenge 7 in chapter 11 in the book Starting Out with Java. And this programming challenge is to create a long distance GUI application that will calculate the amount of money the user will be charged according to the rate and the how many minutes the person used. So here's the table. If it is a daytime between 6 a.m. Through 5:59 p.m., it will be charged 7 cents per minute. If it is evening, 6 p.m. through 11:59 p.m., it will be 12 cents per minute. If it is off peak, 12 a.m. through 5:59 a.m., it would be 5 cents per minute. So we have to calculate those. We will give, they said we have to use radio buttons, 3 radio buttons, and you have to give the user an option to give how many minutes he used, and then calculate the amount. So here I created the program long distance calls. It will extend a chain frame and it will implement action listener here. And it will have 3 panels, main panel, and button panel to hold the panels, to hold the radio buttons, and to hold the buttons. Here are the 3 radio buttons, daytime, evening, and off-peak radio buttons. Here is the button group. This is important because if you want to have exclusivity between these 3 radio buttons, meaning you want to select only one out of the 3, you have to use button group. That's what creates the exclusivity between those 3 things. Then I create the a text field and a label to give the user to enter how many minutes they used. Here is the 2 buttons, calculate button and exit button. Here are the rates, the day rate, the evening rate, and the off-peak rate, which are 7 cents, 12 cents, and 5 cents. Here is the constructor for the class. It has a title. We call the build panel method. And here are the standard method calls for the JFrame class. Here is the build panel method. It sets the layout to border layout for the main panel. It sets a border 20 pixels around all corners. Here it sets the layout for the panel, and it will have a grid layout which will have 3 rows and 2 columns. Here is setting the layout for button panel. It will have 2 rows and 2 columns. Here we add the radio buttons to the button group in order to have exclusivity. We add all 3 radio buttons to the button group. Here is the daytime. We add action listeners to the 3 radio buttons to keep track of which radio button is clicked. And here we added the label for the text field, the exit button, and the calc button to the button panel. We added the 3 radio buttons to the panel. Here we added action listeners to the buttons, and I repeated this. You don't need this, I think. So we added the action listeners to the two buttons, and here we added the panel to the main panel, and we set to the center of the window, and we added button panel to the main panel, and we set it to the south side of the window. Here's the main method to run the program. Here is the action listener method that the action listener interface gave us. Here is the decimal format to format the money. And here we check if the clicked component is a calc button. If so, then we also check if the daytime radio button is selected, and if so, we check if a person entered something to the text field, meaning so the user provided how many minutes they used, and if so, then we multiply that minutes to the day rate, and we add to the total variable here. And we do exactly the same thing for the evening radio button. If it is selected, then we make sure that the text field is entered something, and if so, then we add the total to multiplying minutes by the evening rate, and we do the same thing for the off-peak radio button. And lastly here, although it is not necessary, I get the text field minutes here, and I saved it to this variable user input. And inside the J option pane, I calculated the amount of hours and minutes by first dividing the user input by 60 to get the hours, and to get the minutes, I use a modulo operator, and I said user input modulus 60. So basically, it will divide 60 to the user input and will give us the remaining of that division, which would be the minutes. And here, at last, we display the total of the minutes that the person used. Let's run the program and see if the program works the same way we want it. So here is the application. Here's the daytime, evening, off-peak, and here is the text field, minutes, and the two buttons. Let's say we want to find out the daytime, and let's say we only spoke 20 minutes on the phone, and here it says hours is only 10 minutes, and it's 70 cents. 7 cents. It says 70 cents because if we go back to our rates, here the daytime is 7 cents per minute. So 7 cents times 10 minutes is a 70 cents. How about if we want to find out how much evening would be for, let's say, 70 minutes. 70 minutes is 1 hour and 10 minutes, and it would be $8.40. How about off-peak hours, which is 5 cents per minute? Let's say we spoke 500 minutes. I don't know what how many hours it is. 500 minutes is 8 hours and 20 minutes. It will be, the total will be $25 if you spoke 500 minutes or 8 hours and 20 minutes in off-peak hours. So I think that that would be it for this programming challenge. We accomplished what they wanted us to do. So thank you for watching. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like. And if you have any questions, please comment down below. And if you need, if you want to see similar videos, please subscribe to my channel. And I will see you next time.